Today, I'm going to show you how to make this contraption here. This is a 4x hopper minecart item sorter as well as a shulker box loader. It loads 4 individual shulker boxes at the same time at 1x hopper speed. This will definitely help you guys in your world with farms where you have a lot of loot. This can hold a lot of loot in a small footprint. Alright, so to get started, we have to make sure we chunk align our stuff. So this is a chunk border marked out with the center 2x2 of that chunk. The material list will be in the description. We're going to start by placing down double chests and the center 2x2 hoppers facing downwards into those double chests, more double chests on top of those, and then more hoppers facing down into those double chests. This is your main storage for the shulker boxes. Next thing we're going to do is going to get some glass. I'm going to do a block higher than this and just make a ring around these hoppers. Like so. Now, while we're down here, we're going to get some solid blocks. We're going to put 2 here, like so. We're going to put redstone torches on top of them, like so. And then we're going to have slabs underneath those solid blocks, like so, 2. And then we're going to go up by additional 3. Like so. We're gonna get redstone dust, slab beside the solid block, and then the last one we're gonna put redstone dust on. Then we're gonna put a repeater facing towards the solid block on 4 ticks. We're gonna do that on this side as well. So it should have something to look like that. Like so. And next thing we're going to do is put buttons on these solid blocks down here. Next thing we're going to do is behind these repeaters here above the redstone dust, we're going to put a temporary block. Then we're going to put a block behind that temporary block like so. We're going to destroy this temporary block above the redstone dust. We're going to put a redstone torch on the side of that block like so. And this redstone torch would be above the redstone dust like so. Then we're going to put redstone dust on top of these blocks here. Alright, now that we've done that, we can go back to the center here where the glass is. So we're just going to do 2 more rings, 2 blocks tall. Now that we've done that, it's 2 blocks tall, 2 rings. We're going to get solid block again, put it above these redstone torches here and here. Then we're going to put a redstone torch on top of those solid blocks like so. Now in front of these we're going to put dispensers. So they're going to be facing inward like this. And they should be looking at each other like so. Then the empty gaps here and here we're going to put regular pistons. And they're going to be facing inward like so. Next thing that we want to do is on the side of the dispensers, we want to put hoppers going into them. And you want to make sure your hoppers are actually facing into them. Like so. And then behind those hoppers, we want to put slabs. We're going to put 2, like so. It's going to go outward behind where these redstone torches are. Like so. We're going to put redstone lamp on the second slab. So the second further from the hoppers here. Put a comparator facing into these redstone lamps. And then we're going to get a barrel and put it on top of each of these hoppers. Now you don't have to have the barrel facing upwards like this. You can access the barrel regardless of what side it's on. I just do this because I like how it looks. Now we're going to put glass on top of these dispensers, and only the dispensers. We're not going to put them on top of these pistons. Next thing we're going to do now is grab some more slabs. Now we're going to go to these pistons, and you can jump on top of this block to help you. We're going to put it down 1, 2, 3, 4. You can jump up here now and then put down 2 more. So you should have like a T shape. We're going to do that on this side as well. And it should have something like that. Next thing we're going to do, these corner slabs right here, we're going to put redstone dust on them, like so. And you should see the line straighten out. Then we're going to have comparators reading from these pistons here. Do not turn on the front light, the subtract mode. You do not need this on. Leave that off. You're going to put blocks in front of them like so. And then on the side of those blocks, we're going to put redstone torches. And then when you do that, you'll see that there's a power of this block, which will send a quick signal here. And we're going to do that on this side as well. Now let's get our sticky pistons. We're going to put sticky pistons on top of these solid blocks, which are being powered by these comparators, like so, facing inwards. We'll get some temporary blocks. And let's get a button as well. Go up by 2, 1, 2. I have regular piston facing downwards like so, and then observers like so, and then the output of the observer will be facing down while its face is actually looking up into the sky. Put buttons on these pistons here to push the observers into place. And we're going to do that on this side, so 2 blocks tall, temporary blocks, piston, observer, a button. Activate the piston to push the observer into place. We're just going to do that here too. Alright, and then we're going to put buttons on these sticky pistons, like so. Now, you want to check, make sure everything's still working fine. We're going to press this button. This should move the observer, and this piston should move. The same with this, and that, and that. That's how you know you've done it correctly so far. And just double check your hoppers are facing into these dispensers, like so. Now we want to get some shulker boxes that are empty. I'm going to use 3 different colors. You can put 1 in each of these barrels. And now we're just going to make the floor that we can walk on up here. So I like using glass. You can use solid blocks everywhere except beside the sticky pistons. You want to make sure you use like a temporary block so the sticky piston doesn't get powered. And this will make your 8x8 platform, and you should have like scaffolding or whatever, so you can get up and down pretty easily like that. Now let's go back down. Now we're gonna prime our system by pressing these buttons here. This will dispense the empty shulker boxes. And it should look something like that. Now let's get some hoppers, have them facing down into each of these shulker boxes, like so. Now, this is important. Where we're going to build over, we're going to make sure we build over the dispensers for the easiest time building. You can build it over where the observer and pistons are, but it'll be a lot more challenging. Anyway, let's get a rail and some glass panes. We're going to need 3 glass panes and 1 regular rail. Put the rail down. Could be on this side, that side, doesn't really matter. Just put a rail down, and then the remaining 3 hoppers, we're gonna put glass panes like so. Get a hopper minecart. Put it on the rail, push it forward. You can destroy the rail and nudge the hopper minecart against these 3 glass panes. Then we're gonna get some solid blocks. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Now, on this second solid block, and let me use a different color so you can tell. On this second solid block here, we're gonna get a regular piston. Have it facing downwards, like so. We're gonna get a slab underneath that piston, a button. Activate that piston to push the slab down, get rid of that piston and button. We're gonna get some more slabs. Put another slab behind that. And notice this is over where the dispensers are, not over where the observers and pistons are. We're gonna put a temporary block, and then put a solid block on top of those temporary blocks, like so. Next thing we're gonna do is going to temporarily get rid of this solid block here. We're gonna get our activator rail. We only need 1, but you want it at an angle like this. Get rid of that extra rail that you use to make it go up at an angle. You can put back the solid block or not, it's up to you. And behind that activator rail, we're going to have a repeater on 1 tick. And on this block facing towards this repeater, we're going to have a redstone torch. Behind it, it should power this on. This should be on. And then on top of this redstone torch, we're going to put a glass. It has to be glass. Otherwise, it'll create a torch burnout. We'll put redstone dust on this glass and this solid block like so. A solid block in front of this glass. This will prevent the hopper minecart from rolling off. And then above where this activator rail is, we have to have either glass or a slab. I'm going to use a slab. This will prevent the detector rail from powering on this activator rail below it. Now let's get a detector rail placed on top of that slab and the comparator reading from that. Now we just need to put our hopper minecarts here and here, like so. So this hopper minecart will be sorting out the items for us. This will pull out the sorted item downwards into this one, which will feed it into the 4 hoppers, which will feed into the 4 separate shulker boxes. Now, for example, let's say our water stream is right here. This is where the loot will pass by and this hopper minecart will pick it up. Let's set up this so we can filter out our item. So let's get the item that we want filtered into the shulker boxes. I'm gonna get 3 snowballs, and then another random item that you won't have in the loot stream that can stack up to 64. We only need 3 of it. So this top hopper minecart, the item that you want sorted will go in the first spot. In slots 2, 3, and 4, we're going to put the snowballs like so. And in the 5th slot, we're going to put the final item that can stack up to 64, but we only need 3 of them in the final slot. And then the item that we want sorted will go in the first one. You'll see it drain down to 4. Alright, see it stopped at 4. And all of that's in the shulker boxes now, so let's break them. As you can see, this has 15, that's the red one. Green one has 15, orange 15, yellow has 15. So it evenly distributes the items into the shulker boxes. Alright, again, this is a 4 times hopper speed item sorter and the 1 times shulker box loader, but it loads 4 shulker boxes at the same time. And then a few other things to go over. So what this redstone lamp and comparator is for. So this will tell you the stock levels of your empty shulker boxes in just your barrel. So when this light's off, that means your barrel is empty, but you'll still have shulker boxes in your hopper here and your dispenser here. But for the most part, that's everything. This is useful for farms such as like a quad portal gold farm where you get a lot of gold nuggets and run flesh. This will help you store a lot of it in a very compact space, but you can hold a lot. Like a single double chest can hold, if I remember correctly, 93,000 items. If you have all full shulker boxes and they stack to 64, and then you fill up every spot inside the double chest. So now, another thing to make mention is each one of these barrels you can put 41 empty shulker boxes in. This includes the storage space of the barrel, hopper, and dispenser. You can fill this up with 41 shulker boxes. And then for the first time, you'll have to prime the system by spinning out the shulker boxes. Or if you run out and you have to refill it, you'll have to prime the system again, so there's a shulker box in place. Now, once the shulker box is full, this comparator here will detect that. Will send the signal into this block, which will cause this sticky piston to move this observer, which will power this piston here, which will break that block. Also, at the same time, when that happens, this comparator will power this block, which will turn off this Redstone Torch, which will unpower this Redstone Dust, which will allow this Redstone Torch to turn on, which will send the signal here with a 4-tick delay to this mini torch tower right here, which will unpower this, which will turn this on, which will power this dispenser to spit out a new empty shulker box. So that's how it works. Anyway, if there's any questions or anything I forgot to clarify, just message me in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer you all. Until next time, take care.